How's it going in here?
Oh, I'm filming. 58.
58 degrees.
99% humidity.
Because it's raining. The second thing was on the list was to turn the furnace on, which I showed Jen how to do, so
and
she knows.
We started the fridge. That was
because we had it off because it was
maybe
frozen.
The third thing, and then the fourth thing we did.
Speaking of what was on,
fourth thing we did was get some beers.
Nice.
We also discovered that the air conditioner leaks a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. The air conditioner leaks from when you're backdraft driving. I don't have it covered outside, so it was like a little bit damp running down here, but it's pretty minor. This furnace will just dry it right out. And we're just, I can't sit, so because it's wet.
We're just setting up our campsite.
We do have the plastic jugs for drinking water, but they started leaking, and I don't know, I wanted to get a nice one, so I got this nice stainless jug here, or whatever, I don't know, container, and it has a little plug. I just put the spout in it, and it's made in Italy. Just fancy. And it's all stainless, and let's see if it leaks.
It's just nice fresh drinking water we can use whenever we need it.
Yeah.
To make coffee, or for Jay to drink all of the water that he drinks. Yeah,
so this, I figured in this area would be the best area for it. And, you know, whatever. And then I actually put D-rings right here. And right on the other side here, there's another D-ring. So then I can put a strap right here. And if we're driving, I don't know if we should do it or not. We gotta test it. We'll put a strap around it and tighten it real tight, like a four-wheeler strap. And if we're just driving somewhere very close, like to dump in the dump station and come back or something like that, we don't have to take this down because we're storing it on the front rack to get weight off the rear axle onto the front axle. So it's full of water. It's 20 liters, which is, I don't know, somewhere around 5 gallons. So it's pretty heavy. And that's it. What are we making?
We're using the oven. I think this is actually the first time we're like genuinely using the oven.
Okay.
Like to actually cook.
Okay.
Since the time that we reheated shrimp in our driveway, if you guys remember that. If you've been watching for a long time.
Oh boy, you got some OG watchers or followers on that one. That was actually on the stovetop, by the way.
Oh, that was on the stovetop?
We were running the oven though.
We heated up like vinegar and lemon, and we were cleaning it because it was like mouse infested. Today we're actually going to be using the oven to reheat this leftover chicken. Have Jace give it a sniff test.
The Wedgwood Classic oven. So we have it on, it's just on 250 right now, Fahrenheit. We lit the pilot light, and it's giving it full beans right now, so we're gonna let that warm up.
Here, do you want to give this a sniff?
Yeah, let's let the camera sniff it too. Oh, that smells great. I think the salt in there helped it.
Probably. I mean,
she's got a method going here. So the campground we're at has no electric, no water hookups, no sewer hookups at the campsite itself. So there's 0 hookups at the campsite itself, but you can go and get fresh water from a spigot and fill your camper up like that. And there are flush toilets on site. So that's not on site, but you know, in the campground there's a bathhouse, but it only has flush toilets. It does not have a shower. So we're gonna have to use our shower and our gray tank. So that's kind of the deal, and everything else is running on gas. So
putting it through the paces this camping trip.
We got the water heater on gas right now, so that thing's got 120 degree water or something like that.
Warm chicken. No mess, no stress. Put that right there.
Nice.
We got tomatoes and mayonnaise, chicken and cheese, and our homegrown lettuce. We're gonna wrap her up. A little chicken sandwich wrap.
Nice. Getting ready to go on a little adventure. Got some fishing equipment, hiking gear. Let's do this. How you doing?
Good, I'm just strapping up my shoes and then we're gonna hit it. We're gonna take a little hike and hopefully go fishing. Jay is really hopeful that he's gonna catch some fish because he packed a fillet knife, his surf rod, 3 gallon-sized Ziploc bags. So he's thinking he's catching a record-breaking striper.
We probably won't catch anything.
Yeah, and if he catches those fish, that fish, the monster, we're making fish tacos.
And we got ingredients for it, so we're forced to eat fish tacos or else we eat grass. So we're gonna leave the big camera behind because it's big, and we're gonna maybe film with some iPhone shots. Audio won't be as good, but you'll still get the point.
Are we making fish tacos?
No. She's coming out, swinging. Nope. Can't catch fish here. Maybe the next campsite will show part of the trip of getting there. Just trying to let her burn down a little bit before we put meat on it.
Yeah, we don't have fish to make, so we are making plan B.
Hot dog.
This is what I was talking about. W.A. Bean and Sons. Made in Maine, all natural. We'll give you a full report. Some nice men from Maine. Oh yeah. Probably gonna wrap them in some bacon too.
So we're leaving one campsite on the coast of Maine and we're going to western Maine. And the truck's overheating when it's under load. It doesn't sound good when it's under a heavy load. So one thing I tried was got a recommendation to try and advance the timing, because if it's too far retarded, it could cause it to overheat. So I was hesitant to do that because of the hard start problems I'm having. That advancing the timing only makes that worse, and it did. It did not solve the power or overheating issue. It just made it even harder to start when it's hot. So we were gonna put the timing back to where it was. Yeah, I can barely be able to see anything, but I did stop and get a proper distributor clamp down bolt wrench. Can you grab me a... Alright, so on the top shelf of that, there's this size extension. Can you grab me the one that's double the length?
Oh.
Thank you. See if this is the right size. Yeah, that's better.
Process of hauling the leveling blocks.
I just gotta lift them.
After a little bit of effort, got them all strapped up.
In some town in south central Maine at a grocery store restocking. How is it in here?
Good, putting away our groceries.
What do we get?
Oh, we got stuff for s'mores. We got cookies as my little treat. Chips, obviously. Cherries, which I already put away. Cheese, I already put away. And we're gonna stop on a road for a roadside stand to get butt nuggets.
So that's the thing in Maine, which are eggs. It looks like it is going to storm. This is gourmet. What'd you make, John?
Well, I'm in the process of making BLTs. Secret to a good BLT. What is it, Jay? What is
Butter
it?
on the bread.
No. Well, that, yeah, but.
Extra mayonnaise.
Extra mayonnaise.
This homegrown lettuce, too.
Colors. Made it to Rangeley Lake State Park. First thing we gotta do. What are we doing, Jay?
Trying to figure out how to dump.
Dump what?
The gray water. So this doesn't work, or it does. You just gotta pump all the way up. There it goes.
Jay's got that connected.
Barely, but
We got
let's try
this
it.
here. Oh, there it goes. Dirty dishwater. Really exciting stuff going on in the Squarebody truck camper world.
Made it to our next campsite. Just finished eating a little simple dinner.
I'm gonna make you the best. Oh, I'm gonna make you the best marshmallow this side of the Mississippi. Talk about perfection. I actually got that one backwards, but who's gonna say anything?
Everybody on YouTube.
Ooh. All right, go for it. Oh, it's gonna be messy.
Getting ready. Got the Intex fully loaded.
We're gonna catch our fish tacos tonight because we didn't before. I don't know if you wanted to swing the back end in.
Excited?
Yeah, it'll be fun. Sun's coming out. hear them. There, we got a little campsite for the night.
How is it? Jen was in there checking level as I was driving.
You gotta see it to believe it. For just some campsite we found in the woods, I mean, this is like pretty good.
Wow, that's forward and rearward.
That's better than the campsite in a national park.
And there's side to side. We're at a national park. We had to get the leveling blocks out. Jeanette gets as upset about leveling blocks and getting them out as she does with fans.
I don't like a fan. Warm, stagnant air, like a blanket. I like it.
All right, let's crack some beers.
All right, let's do it. How long have you been in there?
I'm sure you can get in there. We're on our way out of here. We stayed one night and it was great because we had all of the comforts of home right there. And it will be another adventure sometime in the future.
He's happy we're home.
So we made it. We made it. The truck made it. And the camper made it. Everybody made it. We're in northeastern Pennsylvania. We left, went to Connecticut halfway, and then went to the coast of Maine, and went all the way over to the lakes and mountains region of Maine, which is like western Maine. Then we went over through New Hampshire and Vermont into the Adirondacks in New York, and then came straight down back to where we are. We drove about 1,500 miles on this trip for the whole round trip. It was about a week and a half. Yeah, we learned a couple things. We learned that the truck cannot handle going through the hills at anything more than like 50 to 55 miles an hour. So interstates, now this is with the hills. If it's on flat land, it can handle it. But we were going through mountains essentially this entire drive. So interstates, we're out. So then we changed the GPS to avoid highways. Well, that adds a lot more time, but it adds interesting features to the drive. So it was definitely it was not a boring drive, but it's just, everything is just, the suspension needs to be upgraded a little bit more. It's still a little nerve-wracking driving it. We were going anywhere between 45 and 55 miles an hour. Yeah, I mean, you get there, it's just a lot slower. The engine, when it's under like heavy load, it makes some not good noise. I don't know what it is exactly yet, but that needs to be addressed. I want to change the rear suspension and add another sway bar at the rear, or change that up to make that a little bit better, because that definitely could be improved. Overall, everything went well.
So that whole way, everything worked just perfectly. I think the fridge we had running on propane the entire time. It did blow out twice. The first time when we got into the Adirondacks, I think it was, and we lit it again, and then on our way home, once we got parked, we noticed that the temperature was going up again. It was like in the 40s. See, it says 65 right now. It was in the 40s, so we knew it got blown out again.
for everybody who is interested in the utilities on that trip, the trip was 10 days long. We used the camper in the off-grid camping situation for 8 of those days. So we didn't stay in the camper for 2 of the days. The gas fridge was on for that entire time, but for all intents and purposes, as far as power, the off-grid camping amount of time was 8 days. There is no charging for this battery bank from the truck when we drive it or anything like that. I don't have that set up yet. So it was completely charged that night that we left, and it hasn't been charged since. I'll show you what we got for electrical power, and if anybody's interested, you can watch a different video on the build of this electrical system. The quick analysis is it's 4 golf cart batteries, 235 usable amp hours at 12 volt. Anyway, so this is the voltage, 12.62. It was just using it, so it's not terribly rested. So here's the Victron's estimate of how much battery you have left. 92.4%. With anybody who's not familiar, lead acid batteries, you do not want to drain farther down than about 50%. 50% is dead, put it that way. 92 and 100% is fully charged. And this is what matters right here. So we used 81 amp hours of battery. That's at 12 volts or 12.6 volts, whatever. So let's explain what the things that were used. I explained this last year when we went off grid. It's lights, which are the LED lights in here. Water pump, we showered a couple times, both of us. The max air fan was used. The vent fan for the range was used. Furnace was used. We actually ran the furnace at least 2 of the days. It was 45 degrees the one morning in Maine, so it was not warm. The fridge does not use electricity. It was on gas the entire time. The range doesn't use any electricity. Oh, we charged our phones. That's the other thing. So we charged our phones. I have a little battery powered fan that's USB chargeable. We went through probably 50 gallons of fresh water just to give you an idea of how much water the water pump pumped. There's 2 20-pound standard grill size propane tanks on board here. They were both filled when we left, and only one of them was used. I didn't pull it out of there, but I'm sure it's more than half full. I'm even running the furnace. It's probably half full. I should probably take it out and feel it and see how heavy it is, but we didn't even burn through 1 propane tank, so that's good. Oh yeah, we ran the water heater a lot on gas, so that burns a lot of propane, but still, I mean, it does take some electricity, but not much. So between all those things, that's all we used. And we used 81 amp hours, and according to this, it's all subjective here, but we have 92% battery left. So it was all in all a good trip. We're not gonna be camping for more than 2 weeks at a time anytime soon, we'll put it that way. We're good with the battery system without putting a charge on it, so we're just gonna keep on going, and we gotta unload this camper. Oh, and the fishing rod holders definitely worked. We got 3 fishing rods up here, and surf rod and 2 little trout rods, so that worked. That's underneath the cabinets here above the dinette. That's really nice. It's out of the way, and it worked great. That was a good modification that we recently did. Now with all this room, because we don't have the spare tire up here, we have the chairs bungee strapped in. That works. We also put the step in there. We slide the step up through here for travel, and that's really the only thing that is in the walkway when we're traveling. Stay tuned for the next trip, or whatever we're doing next. We'll see you on the next video.